What up, though, everybody? It's your boy, Nomus Jake. Heck in the building. It's been a minute. What's going on, everybody? Let's see who we got in the chat. Oh, Justin made a rapper. Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Hope all's well. With you, sir? Oh, I watched Ray's video the other day. I want to say, my condolences to your friend and stuff, man. That's gotta be kind of messed up. I hope y'all and his family can get through it. So my prayers are with y'all. But yeah, man. So hope all's well. And let's see what you comment. You said Eagles cheated. Lions should have won it. Tick off about the game. Lions need to wake the freak up. Yeah, I feel you. I don't. Again, the whole cheating thing. I'm not really for it, but they do need to wake up. And we finna talk about intelligence. Hey, what's good? What's good? Intelligence cycle. What's going on, man? How you been? Yeah, I'm waiting for everybody to try to roll through. A few people trying to roll through, man. So I can get talk about this game yesterday. It's been a while since I did a game review, man. Oh my god, it's been so long. I almost feel good about this. I feel almost good about this, man. How you doing though, man? I ain't seen you so long, man. It's been forever and ever. uh, so where do I begin? Where do I begin? See, yo, Justin Eagles won fair and square. We were better than the team. Lions just made some main fundamental mistakes. Shout out to my man C Rad TV been doing his thing, man. Dude been doing his thing out there. I see you, C Rad. Good, thank you for showing up. So we just about to go ahead and kick it off, man. Lions go out there, game one of the season, take another L. Keep our week one streak of losing games. But you know what? This is the first week one loss that I can say that I have not come away pissed off and angry about it, because you know what? The game was entertaining from the very start to the very beginning. The way that game started was cool, but you know what? The way the game ended, despite us losing, it ended well. If you telling me that we go at it with every team and it come down to the trenches, that's just what it comes down to, man. I'd rather go out losing like that with some exciting, keeping on your toes, than to just lose because hey, we came back and then 30-yard field goal, we lost because they got 30 yards and kicked the field goal. I'd rather lose this way because at least you could say it was their line versus our line. Um, we got a lot to discuss, so I'm gonna address the elephant monkey in the room. Dan Campbell. I know a lot of heat coming towards his way as of late. A lot of people upset with the man by his coaching decisions. A lot of stuff he did yesterday that weren't. But there was only three things that I can say I took wrong with what he did, and I blame this on the entire coaching staff more so, not just him solely. And those three were not the fact that he did the offside kick, his timing when he chose to do it in a situation. That's what I had a problem with. It wasn't him doing the offside kick. It was the way he went about it. I think he should have waited a little longer before he did that. And I believe it should have been when they least expected, not when you just gave up a good drive, a drive that could have been good, and didn't go the way you wanted. So you try to answer an offside kick. That's a very impulsive move. You can't do that, but I can understand him wanting to. I understand his explanation. It's still not good enough, but I think he should have waited till later down the line when maybe you see where you at, and then you say, okay, you know what, we gotta go for offside kick when we score the next time. That's where I would say he went wrong with that. The other one was the timeout corporation. Our coaches always go crazy with our timeouts. I don't understand what the miscommunication is always happening where they have to take out timeouts. Like the second they come back out for at the halftime during timeout, they call them a timeout like a few minutes later. Like it's too early. At certain points, man, y'all gotta have y'all still together after that first drive. Like y'all got what y'all got. The Eagles got the ball first in the second half. Okay, so whatever happened after that, you come out there on offense and y'all miscoordinated. Y'all have to find a way to be on the same page. That's it can't keep costing our timeouts. So I was looking like, wait, that's coming too soon. Like you took the timeout this early. Like no, we might need that later down the line. So you gotta let your team play. Third thing, and this is most important. It's game one, people. If you tell me veteran teams that have way more talent on us can come out and perform sloppy, what the hell do people think that a rebuilding team is going to do? Which brings me to my point of when you have DeAndre Swift, when DeAndre Swift is out there and he's killing it, you let him continue to kill it. You let him continue to get his Willing and Dylan going. You let him play. I know he performed really well yesterday, which he did. You should have stuck with him. They had no rhythm without him out there. That should have told you, put this young man back out there, let him run the ball some more times, more than 15 times, and let's see if we can get something going. But instead, they allowed the game to get out of reach, and then they had to play comeback ball, and they just could not find rhythm. They did get some good drives in there. They fought back, and they scored to have the game within 3, but it's just they could have incorporated that a lot better with Swift. You can't control the pace. You can't get afraid of losing the lead. They have to go to drastic measures and just throw. Everybody's off. Your rhythm is not there. Jared Goff is still learning those receivers, learning to trust these guys when they routes. He needs to do better on his reading. Still looking sort of saying the team is better on a concept way. They not an overall talent perspective, but they are better. But the thing is, they're still young, one of the youngest teams in the league. There are going to be things on offense that you're not going to come out clicking all the way. I don't know how many times I could have seen Green Bay start off a game one where they just not clicking. Shout out to Green Bay Packers getting their ass whooped last night, by the way. But I'm just saying, how many times have we saw that? Where even veteran teams with better quarterbacks come out and show real slow starts. So I know for this team, as young as they are, it's going to be a slow start because everybody's still learning. So you have to use what's working. And DeAndre Swift gave you 15 carries and gave you real good use out of that 15 carries. You should have given this man more touches. You know what I'm saying? The running backs is really what saved this game for us. They made it be that close. You got 3 touchdowns yesterday out of our running back core. Fourth one was and 2 out the air. You scored 5 touchdowns yesterday. You score 5 touchdowns in the game, you're supposed to find a way to win. So I know people want to blame Jared Goff for the pit sit scenario. We still had ways. We still could have came back and won that game despite that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality that the Lions got to start showing that in the future that they got to have. You got to have the talent, the mindset to start winning in spite of what you do yourself and what happens to you. You know what I'm saying? No matter how bleak situations get, you got to have the mentality to fight back. And that's what they kind of showed yesterday. Despite shooting themselves in the foot, they fought back. And I can commend them for that. And I know people are like, well, what about the wins? This is not a 10-win team this year. This is not an 8 to 10 win team. I know some people see it. I'm not buying that crap with the schedule. Oh, the schedule is so easy. No. You don't know how. You can't determine how good a team is based off what they did last year. Not even with the Lions. Just because we're a 3-win team barely last year, that don't mean we're going to be as bad as a lot of people think we still are. But we're still going to be bad. But we're better. You know what I'm saying? So if we're better, some of the other teams are better. Some teams have more money than us and was able to get more quality players on defense, more quality players on offense. Some had just as high as picks we had. Every team is different. You can't just judge a team based off what the record was last year. I keep telling people that. You can't just come in assuming just off, hype. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never put out content based off hype or fan service. Y'all know that. For those who rock with me forever, know that I don't do that. It's for a reason. I don't fall into that cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like I kept noticing, you got 16 drops here. Some of it was on Jared Goff, some was on the receivers, some was just, hey, the defense made plays too. I seen some defense on our players, man. When they try to catch the ball, they stop the pass, force it to drop, making an incompletion. So it was a little bit of everything. That's why you had to get the ball to DeAndre Swift more. It was imperative, but they just didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad about yesterday's loss. Like I said, it was a good game from start to finish. I'm not sitting here one of these pencil pushers, media guys just over forcing my way. Oh, everything was supposed to be perfect. You got people want to run Aaron Glenn out of town, man. Like, that's not fair. This man don't really have that much talent on that side of the ball. Even y'all, he supposed to make miracles with some guys who are hurt. You got a cornerback that's been hurt for 2 years, basically, coming off an Achilles injury that did a good job shutting down Devontae Smith. Even fought with AJ Brown. He got beat a little bit, but he fought with AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? You got Monty who and Tracy Walker trying to step up, be your veterans. Okay, you don't have the best safety core. You don't got the best corner rotation right now. It's young, raw, and needs the experience and reps. You got linebacker core that's literally a circle with a question mark. Yes, Rodrigo performed yesterday, and he hit. He had a play where he showed why he was a rookie. He is going to be very good one day. Size don't mean shit all the time. He's going to be very good, but he's young and raw. You don't have that guy on that defense. Aiden Hutchinson. Now, this is another uh, elephant kind of thing in the room that a lot of people are saying that maybe we got in that backfield a lot because, it was a trap way to kind of get the yards for the quarterback to be able to just use his athleticism and his legs to get yards and stuff. So, in other words, they were tricking us into, having us come in. Bro, we just faced the best running team in the number one offensive line, period. And we played okay. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you got people out here that's like angry about what happened yesterday, and I'm like, calm down. It's a young team filled with scrap. Like, our defense is made of young players. They are rotational guys, special team aces and linebacker, and a young group of secondary players that need growing and need a veteran. That's our defense right now. We still got guys out. Aaron Glenn can't make miracles, okay? Aiden Hutchinson, I feel, can have a better game. They were literally trying to single him out the game and keep their quarterback away. They game plan for Jalen Hurts to get out of the pocket because they didn't want Hutchinson getting them. You know how many times he could have had to do yesterday? And people picking at him about his tackling or he didn't have this, he didn't have this, that. It's okay. So fuck what? Do y'all know some of these other defensive ends that got drafted this draft coming into teams that got more experienced defensive linemen on their team? Aiden Hutchinson is being ruled out, so he can. Plus, we have yet to get a defensive unit. It'll take time. Right? It's young. Listen, when Sue got here as the number 2 pick, yes, Sue made himself known as an interior rusher. But you know what? Sue had Kyle Van Bosch, a well-known pass rusher that was really good, especially in his younger days, and still was giving us 8 sacks a year. He had Corey, I think it was Corey Williams and somebody else on that D line. And Jim Schwartz as defensive minded coach with Gunter Cunningham as the defensive coordinator, who really was basically Schwartz's sword, okay? That defensive line back then was about attacking. But guess what? As much as Sue did good, that D line for years got ran on. I don't care what nobody said. They gave up rushing yards, okay? I'm not trying to make an excuse for Aiden Hutchinson. We said it from the draft. There was no Sues, no Jalen Ramsey, type players in that draft. It was going to be whoever you fit best for you. If Aiden get 12 sacks this year, I'm not putting it on him. If he get 6 sacks this year, I'm not putting it on him. I'm giving him a pass this year because of the situation. You got 2 actual starters on that defense line that showed up yesterday. Everybody else is a backup. Buzz wasn't even initially an idea they was going to have on the team until Levi kept getting hurt. And then Pascal kept getting hurt. Then I think Brockers might not have been there too. And on top of that, Romeo's still out. You still got, that's like 3 or 4 players I just named that wasn't there. That's why you saw John Kaminsky yesterday. That's why you saw Charles Harris is like the 3rd string edge rusher. He's the 3rd. He's like the 6th man on basketball. He's a backup, but he's being used as a starter because of the situation and the injuries that have been there since last year. We still got Will Harris bum ass on the team. What is people expecting the Lions to go out here and do? This team here this year is to do the same thing they did last year. Compete. Give yourself a chance to win games. Make people look stupid. And keywords, what Kelvin Shepard said on Hard Knocks, put teams on notice. And they did just that yesterday. They put the NFL on notice. The only 2 teams that outscored them yesterday. 2 teams. The Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Jared Goff's job on this team is just not to crash the vehicle. That's his only job. He is not to save the world. It's just not to crash the vehicle. I need to see Swift get at least 20 carries next game. You got 3 touchdowns because that's another thing. Nobody complained about Dan Campbell going for it on 4th and 1 with DeAndre Swift and him doing that swing around and he gets all the way into the end zone. Nobody complained about that. But let it have failed. We'd have been up his ass. I'm not killing the head coach. I know he made some boneheaded decisions, but what coach done? You're not going to get some nerdy put together team. You got a rookie offensive coordinator who honestly didn't call the worst game in the world I ever seen. He actually has, man, let me tell y'all something. The blocking assignments on them run blockings that they got going on over there, man, it is phenomenal. The run blocking on this offensive line is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Taking dudes left and right. They took Jordan Davis out the game. They took Jordan Davis, a guy a lot of people wanted. They took his ass out the game, bro. It didn't stop shit. The Lions just stopped running the ball. They took Jordan Davis out the game, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people, him and Fletcher Cox. Hell, they starters was getting hurt during the game. I just found out Derek Burnett gonna be out for the season with ACL. Jayon Hargrave had to come out the game. Our O-line was putting in work, bro. Bodies was on the ground. TJ Hawkinson was a dog blocking yesterday. You got a young offensive coordinator that's going to take time to get his grooming together. Give him more time, more than one game. He has a whole – do y'all not understand? Now, this is not picking at Jared Goff, but you got to understand, he's not developing a playbook for a young athletic quarterback like Jalen Hurts or Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen. He's trying to make up a playbook to make a guy like Goff feel comfortable. Okay, that's not easy, okay? Not to pick at Goff, but it's just not easy making that guy look good. Okay? Let's be honest. But he still got it looking pretty decent. I don't have an issue with the offense. I just think what he has to do is get the rhythm going. That's all he got to do, especially while it's early. If he knows what to do with his running backs, Ben Johnson is going to do well in this league as an offensive coordinator. I guarantee you. If he makes the smart move to say, you know what, I gotta start putting this ball on the ground more with Swift. Hey, we need to do it. You know how y'all got to do that? You want to know how they need to do that? First of all, it's time for this team and the players and coaches to start speaking up. I need Jared Goff today or early this morning, whenever they're supposed to look at film. I think it's usually on Monday. He should be going in there today telling Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, Ben Johnson, and Deuce Staley, hey, I need Swift to get more carries. Because every time he was out there, he was electrifying yesterday. We could have won probably if I was able to get more rhythm with him going, and we could have probably built rhythm. We need to get Swift the ball. I need Deuce Staley. All the drama they made on Hard Knocks about Deuce Staley and trying to get in Swift's head, it showed. But I should be seeing Deuce Staley tell Dan Campbell, he's the assistant head coach. He should be telling Dan Campbell, like, hey, man, we need to put Swift out there a little bit more than 15 times. I know we're trying to get everybody touches, but we need to get Swift more carries. I should be hearing this. I should be seeing this happen. You should be seeing reports about them right now saying they need to get Swift more opportunities. I should be seeing articles stating that they talk about this. I should be hearing this in the press conference. They need to involve him more. I don't want to hear about injury prone. He played hard yesterday. He came out the game just fine. Look, just fine. Quit playing scared and let this boy play. Give him more than 15 carries. All his run. Every time I look up, 19 yards, 50 yards, 16 yards. Like, God damn. Just destroyed that defense, bro. A defense that has more talent than ours. So as far as I'm concerned, the running back win goes to Swift. I don't care what. Yeah, I know. Miles Sanders did his thing yesterday. I get it, but he should have did that. You know what I'm saying? You should have been able to do that. Y'all got first round picks all over that D line. Veteran Super Bowl champions, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, 11-year vet. You got guys on there, and we still ran through that defense. I don't care what nobody say. 3 touchdowns given off the ground. And you know what I'm saying? You got PFFs giving Jamal Williams a bad grade. Okay, he had 11 carries. I get it. He only had 28 yards, but he still had 2 touchdowns. Come on, man. We really being that petty. It's like, it's a young team. what do people want to do? Like you can't. What is he? What are they supposed to do? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not even. Normally, I criticize the coaching staff in the roster and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, I gotta be fair. We all thought that was gonna be a blowout going into the game. Instead, and although it was trending towards that, they said, "Fuck that. We not doing this like how we did with San Francisco last year. We're gonna bring ourselves back into this. We gonna bring ourselves back into this game. Not the last 5, 6, 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. No, we gonna start in the third." While it's still third, and they did. They did just that. You know, it was one play though that did piss me off, and it wasn't a pick six. The one play that Jared Goff, it was a pass he threw downfield to Josh Reynolds. I think it was like 3rd and 4 or some shit like that. He threw like 20 yards down the field, and the DB that was covering Reynolds failed, but Reynolds dropped the ball. I was so upset. I said, "Oh, he would have had that probably in the end zone." If he caught that and was able to run, I was so upset, man, because I think the next drive that we had, it was when we got the touchdown to DJ Sharp on Darius Slay. Shout out to DJ Sharp. I think we had opportunities to win this game. That's why I didn't come and beat him up about the what's that? I'm loving what I see in terms of development. Yeah, hey, bro. Yeah, I do too. It's just that they gotta start focusing on putting together. Like I was saying, they gotta they gotta talk to each other. I should be seeing Goff defending Swift saying, "Hey, I need him in there," and I need Deuce Staley to say, "Hey, let's get him more involved." I need people to communicate better on this team because when you're young like that, communication is very key. As much as Dan Campbell talks about having trust for each other, part of that needs to be communication too. They gotta be more prepared when they come in the game. Those are things that I criticize. Now that petty shit about like I said, the 3 things I killed them on as a whole coaching staff was the timeout usage. Because to me, that showed that y'all wasn't communicating properly. That's why you had to call timeout because you didn't know what to do. 2 was the way they incorporated the offside kick, and the other one was the involvement of DeAndre Swift. He could have used him a little more. Outside of that, I have no issues. I care less about the pick six. I could care less about if he chose to do a run on this down or something like that. I could care less about it. You know what I mean? I at this point, you know this team is young. What young kids go do? Mess up. The whole point is to let them play. You got backups and practice squad guys trying to fill in roles. You don't have stars on defense yet. You didn't draft really a lot of guys. You got Rodriguez, who had a very phenomenal game. He didn't miss one assignment. You converted 9 out of 13 on third down. There is a lot of good to come away from this game. Now, look, I don't know how next game is going to work. I want to give us a chance to say we'll win. We may not win next game. We may not win till week 4 or something, for all we know. But I think in this first 5 games, you could probably come away with at least 2 victories. And I'm not even mad about that. That's already like what, 7, 8 weeks sooner than you already had your first win. So I think that's improvement, man. I think honestly, we just gotta be a little bit paid. I'm not mad about the offside kick, to be honest. I'm not mad about it. It's just he could have waited a little longer for that. I get he wanted the ball back. I just felt like honestly, if you just bring more pressure on that O-line like you did later in the game, you probably wouldn't have needed to do that offside kick. Because it's like it was kind of necessary. I would have waited to see how we would have done first, and then got the ball back, try to put points on the board, and then say, okay, offside kick. That's just me. Like I said, I wasn't mad at him doing it. It was just when he did it, I didn't like it. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like we had chances to win that game, so like this feels like a better team. I mean, maybe not that much better. Like I ain't gonna say like they doubled, but they're at least a good. They're at least better than they were at the end of last year when they were corporate. They obviously better because now you got some more players on that D line rotation. You still brought some kind of pressure where it was because it was time in that fourth quarter. The pressure was real this time. He couldn't get the ball barely out of his hand, and they was hitting his ass, blocking the passes. Because a lot of those D linemen separately had good games. Like Buzz was solid, hella good to me. Austin Bryant made plays. Kaminsky made plays from time to time, made some tackles. But a lot of that to me was because they were trying to shut in. Yeah, it's better. A lot of them was trying to keep Aiden Hutchinson out the game. I mean, think about it. Everybody knows who went number one, number two, number three, number four, number five. You really, as a team with a top three line, go sit here and let this young kid try to go off on you. You know you can manage with the other guys. You gonna really make that guy let him go off on you, knowing he's number two pick in the draft, knowing they want to get him up in there. They kept stacking the deck against the guy. So Aiden Hutchinson was basically made as a sacrificial lamb. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? If we can run, we can pad pressure the QB. That is new. Yeah. Now again, the pressure. Some of it, I think they did it to open up the gaps to let Hurts get opportunities to run. Some of that I think was by design. Not every bit of it. Oh, you talking about the fact that I love seeing Will Harris drag on AJ Brown like he was like AJ Brown was his mama, and he was trying to keep her from leaving to go and leaving him with the babysitter. Yeah. Yeah. I just love watching his ass get burnt half the fucking death out here looking like burnt toast. Like we can't talk shit about Jalen Ramsey no more. Oh my god, this. How are you at safety? You look so small. Like you a box safety formerly. How you look so small and weak, man? I don't understand that. Like I'll never forget his first game 2 years ago. Like 2 years ago, in 2020. Like he was trying to stop Jimmy Graham and he was just tugging on his arm and he just barely stopped. I'm like, bro, this dude has no technique. He just sucks, bro. Like get this dude off the team. Like y'all really let AJ Parker go versus him? Like for real, bro. How bad was AJ Parker last year where Will Harris made it over this dude, bro? I don't care what position he played. Like I could have put Juju Hughes at corner last night and he would have did better, bro. Like where was Bobby Price at? Damn, man. The fuck Will Harris ass out the game, man. Yeah. I didn't realize I knew he threw somebody, but I didn't know that was Travis Kelce. Not Travis Kelce, but Jason Kelce. One of the top linemen. I said, damn, I thought it was like they right guard or something. No, that was one of the top guys. I said, damn, he just threw a man. Like, I'm Rodrigo. Like, come on, bro. Like, yesterday was an interesting game, though. I liked it yesterday. So, I want to see them build off from. I ain't gonna make the string too long. I want to see them build on. Next game is work on. In practice, they should be working on their techniques on bringing pressure. And find a way to loosen up Aiden Hutchinson as much as possible. Take pressure off him because he does need help out there. He out there with a group of backups right now, and I'm saying they make plays, but they backups for a reason. So you gotta find a way to take pressure off of Lee McNeil and Aiden Hutchinson so they can do their thing. Another thing I was advised them to do is first off, cut Will Harris and see if you can bring in somebody else. They need to involve, I think, sometimes maybe adding another linebacker on those sets to kind of be like an extra blitzer or something to rush in to try to help bring that pressure too. Like Carson Wentz, like this. Carson Wentz he's a good quarterback. Like I ain't gonna shit on the guy. He got everything we wish Goff had physically. Like he's not like he's a mobile guy, but he's not a mobile guy. He moves on his feet kind of like how you used to see with Andrew Luck, sort of, but he's mainly a pocket passer who will use his mobility when he has to. You know, he's not glorifyingly athletic, but he's more athletic than Goff. He can pass better than Goff too. Even on his bad days, he will throw good passes. But the thing about Carson Wentz, although he goes through his progressions, he also has mentally challenged issues where he just sometimes loses his shit. And if you get to him enough, he will make mistakes. Yeah, that's something like that was a collective effort. That was a collective. It wasn't just the receivers dropping passes. Some of it was on Goff, some of it was on the receivers, and it was a few of them passes. I saw the defense early in the game was making plays on every time we threw the ball to our receivers, and they would force incompletions, and they would just drop the ball on them, a lot of them close underneath routes, and they kind of sort of cleared up later, but it was still a few of them in there. So they got to clean that up. 16 drops, they ain't going to cut it. I don't think that's going to be the story for the rest of the year, like, oh, we just dropping every pass. I think they'll eventually get the rhythm going. Like I said, everybody's still learning their routes and learning where they're supposed to be at. Like, so that's why I'm like, I'm gonna give them a chance another couple of games to clean that up. Oh, that's something else though they do need to work on, making sure they catching passes. Because if you're seeing Amon-Ra drop a few of them, that should tell you something. It's a rhythm thing, and I'm still on learning that, and that's more reason why this is a new playbook. This isn't Anthony Lynn's playbook. This is new playbook being created from the ground up. That's another thing. So it's gonna take time, more than a few months, to get clear of the playbook. That's a very important aspect. I forgot about that. If you're telling me when Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay, and he's saying it took him to the end of the year to him to get that playbook down, what the fuck you think? How long is it gonna take Jared Goff on a rebuilding roster with a bunch of young players? That was a veteran offense that Tom Brady had sort of over there. And he said it took him as a veteran quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. It took him down to the end of that season when they won the Super Bowl for him to understand that playbook. What the fuck do you think Goff go do with the Lions with a whole new playbook grounded? Like, what are y'all expectations? Why are y'all getting so Ben Johnson? He's gonna suck now, and Aaron Glenn suck. Y'all ready to run these two men out of town already? All the dick riding going on all season. Now you ready to run them out of town? That's your fucking fault. Nobody told you that they was gonna be Sean McVay year one. Nobody said this shit. Like, nobody. You did that to your own damn self. Now you want to come on your shows and podcasts, pissing the bitch, complaining about team. I'm not doing that. Nope, not today. Not today. I'm seeing progress, so I'm leaning on that. I choose to lean on that. Yes, I saw some bad, but right now, compared to last year, I'm seeing a lot better. I'm trying to focus on that part, and I'd rather do that because at this point, your defense don't got enough talent. So it's about finding ways to win and building off of that. That's the motto. So back to what I was saying for the Redskins, they got to focus on bringing pressure. To Carson Wentz. And if Carson Wentz do make the wrong mistake and try to go for yards, you must keep Tracy Walker and Rodrigo near. Them two of your underrated tacklers right there, right on the team. They get their hands on that dude. Carson Wentz is known to kind of take some injuries early in the year. I'm not saying I want the dude hurt. I wouldn't wish injury on nobody, but you need to make sure you got a chance to take this dude down because he will come up limping, and you can get an opportunity to do that. Like, you have to find a way to use the receiver core against him. He's gonna want to get the ball down the field, so his eyes gonna be there. You gotta make him take longer to get the ball out. You know what I'm saying? By bringing that pressure immediately, I should be seeing nonstop pressure sent his way. Carson Wentz is mobile, but like I said, it's a way you can contain him. Now, if you sit there and you don't bring pressure, it's going to be a long game. He will eat your ass alive. He will eat your ass alive. That's how he is. He gives you way more than what Goff can give you, but he just has mental lapses sometimes. And it happens very often. But other than that, solid quarterback. Solid quarterback. You know what I'm saying? If Goff can give me B- production next game, perfect. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? The O-line can continue to improve off what they did yesterday, even better. Get Swift at least 20 carries. Defense find a way to bring pressure. You got a shot to win the game. I ain't saying go win it. You just got a shot. And that's what you need to be focusing, continue off the same foundation. Putting yourselves in positions to say, you know what? We getting closer and closer to winning the game. We go eventually get one sooner than we think. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta focus on doing your best to win. So, And that's what it's about for me. Way I look at that game, brain pressure. I know, no, Washington got some dangerous wide receivers over there. Jahan Dotson, Terry Scary. I think Okuda come ready to fight. I think Amani go do what best he can to try to make something happen, man. Tracy Walker just keep his head up. You know what I'm saying? We got something good going here in Detroit. I'm not saying everything was apples and oranges, but it's just you got something to at least smile about now. I can smile better about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting too much pressure on year two coming off a 3-win team. I'm just not doing that. I'm not in the business. I'm not rushing it. I'm letting them have they build their way, their time. They want to build their team. They just better be right by the end of it. That's all I'm saying. But I'm letting them do their build. I'm letting the Lions. I'm for the business of letting them handle their thing their way. You know what I'm saying? I'm for the business of doing that. Letting them build this team the way they feel is best for them, and that's how we want to do it. Now with the drops equal win the first season, yeah, true that. Mm, true that. True that. Uh, let's see what else to cover in the game. Uh, but yeah, man, I had this. I said this because no, I watched a little. I ain't gonna lie. I watched a little Woodward Sports this morning. Um, the morning show. That very terrible taste they came out with. I get it. The decisions that Dan Campbell made wasn't the best decisions in the world. Again, it was game one. I think they just leave certain things out on purpose for their own expectations. Um, yeah, I mean, again, I knew what this was when we made these hires last year. We knew what this was. You were told to brace yourself. Things weren't going to be pretty ditty these first couple of years. These first few years, you was gonna have to try to squint your eye, try to look at certain things a certain way. That's what, and a lot of people was right. They're saying this type of season, this type of rebuild, the first couple of years under Dan Campbell gonna be really ugly, and I think that's what it's just gonna be. It's gonna be a really ugly beginning. This gonna show some light at the end of the tunnel, um, for what they are trying to build here. These type of things take time, man. Some of these teams that go from worst to first still be having decent rosters too. People don't talk about that. We didn't have a decent roster last year when they took over. We didn't have one when they took over. Patricia brung us down so bad we didn't have no decent roster. You know what I'm saying? We got bad contracts with guys coming up as free agents with no money. That situation is bad. So you pretty much got a man with a suit on, a big body suit on, trying to get the mold out the basement. You know what I'm saying? That it's a lot of mold there. And you go as you trying to get that mold out, you go bump your head, you go slip and fall in it sometimes, and keep doing the same bonehead thing over again till you figure out how to properly clean it all out. And that's what happens when you in a mess. You in the mess, sometimes it gets on you. But I believe at the end of this tunnel, they could find a way to clean the mess up. Son. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be sitting here screaming 13 wins for the next couple of years, but I think they'll start progressing and get more wins, and this team will start finally getting some structure on it. We just got one. It would help if we don't draft hurt players, though. That could help a little bit. That could help, man. Like I said, man, for the overall, man, that game was exciting from start to finish. If you disagree with that, you're crazy. I like seeing the game end on the trenches because I've been so upset that the Lions came back and took that lead, and then they come down and just run for like 50 yards and then kick a field goal. I just been upset. Like it would have been like, what the point? At least come down to where we can try to get our players to stop their guy from getting the yards they need to be able to take the knee. You know what I'm saying? If we get that ball on fourth down or something, who knows what happens? It could be overtime. It could have been a win. You know what I'm saying? It could have been something. I say a shout out to DJ Shark again, man. I know it took him a second to get his rhythm in because the slow start in the first half, but that was a hell of a catch in the end zone that he made. I ain't gonna lie, that was a hell of a catch he made on Slay in the zone. You could see the frustration a little bit on Darius Slay too after the catch, obviously, that late in the game, you give up a touchdown, man. You don't want to do that. Uh, that's very understandable for me. But yeah, man. Like I said, the things I take away, some of the favorite things I saw in this game was the catch on, what was it, second down and 11 or second down and 6 or third down and 6. It was something. And Swift caught the ball. I don't know how he got all the way down there to the end zone. And I believe that's when I believe that's when uh, Jamal Williams got his second touchdown. But him getting down there, that was like my favorite play out the game. Everybody talks about the 50-yard run. For me, it was the catch he got out the backfield. And he just twisted and turned his way all the way down the field, man, to get that close. Down there, got in the end zone. That was a hell of a catch and run for Swift, man. He was just a straight animal. Straight animal. Him, like for me, my three guys yesterday, Swift would be number one. Number two, shockingly, will be Jeff Okudah over Rodrigo, who is number three for me. Jeff Okudah, to me, I think he could have been number one, especially if he stopped AJ Brown. Period. Like I said, he played okay to me against AJ Brown. AJ Brown's a menace for everybody, so I can't really kill him for that. But he took Devontae Smith out the entire game. To come in and have a performance like that as a corner, it's already hard not having linebackers like that. And the defensive pass rush is a little bit inconsistent, you know what I'm saying? But when you come in as a corner, coming off an Achilles injury, just winning your spot back, you perform like that, man, against two receivers that were supposed to be high. I got number respect, and I have to put them at least number two, to be honest with. Those were two guys that were literally picked 1 and 2 in the same class, and they have been a lot of criticism on both those men. And to see them come out and perform the way they did is just, makes me want to clap my hands right now for them, and I hope they can stay healthy and consistent. Again, number 3 for me is Rodrigo. Rodrigo came out and did his thing. Yes, he had a little bump in head, late in the end of the game, but you know what? For the most of the part, a 6th-round pick came up here and performed and sort of lived up to the hype. I didn't even notice Nakobe Dean out there yesterday. I was too busy watching Rodrigo. So he won me over yesterday with his performance, the little stuff that he did. You know what I'm saying? Making solo tackles, knocking guys out, immediate hits, immediate tackles, man. He didn't look that undersized to me. I'm just saying, he did, man. So those are my 3 guys, man. I know Aiden Hutchinson and stuff like that. He did his thing, what he could do, but I had to highlight those guys. They performed. They showing me that they can come out and make plays. If I had to give some honorable mentions, yeah, I put Hutchinson in there. Another player I'll put in there is Bugs. Isaiah Bugs did some nice plays, man. Had some block passes down on that D line, man. Made a few tackles. He got a motor, man. He got some energy. I like him. Another one I would say who was performing well until he got ejected was Tracy Walker. Tracy Walker was we the one to get our only sack. Was help bring pressure when they blitzed him up there. He was a menace to deal with at times, man. He was all over the place. Like I said, the scenario happens when the whole headbutt thing on the slide, and then the punch they say he delivered to the tight end, and still got him lit. I don't really care for that part. I'm just talking about when he was out there. He played well. And you know what? Juju Hughes is a rookie, but I thought he showed some flame. He came and make a tackle or so. I thought he played okay considering that he was an undrafted rookie. I liked what he tried to do. It was cool. You asking a lot for him to come in and fill that void, when you're already a young team as is, and then you coming in trying to fill a void in that situation. So I can't really say I had an issue with his performance. I'm quite sure he would have wished he didn't slip and fall a little bit on that sack he could have had right there where, but he still made a play. He was there on there, with, he on special teams, you know what I'm saying? He'll probably get better and be able to help us there. I can definitely highlight him somewhere on special teams now, and hopefully he can make some plays there for us in the future. So, he came in and did what he could as a depth guy. So, from that point, like I said, those are my top 3 guys. As far as again, Swift, Okudah, and Rodrigo. Shout out to the Lions, although they took a loss today. yesterday. But shout out to him for playing a hard effort game. They just got to clean up some of the stuff they got to clean up. Like Dan Campbell, to be fair, he said it in the press conference. You know, it's game one. Guys got to get back in shape more. They got to get their rhythm in. He basically, that's literally what he was saying. It was game one. People not up to snuff quite yet. You know what I'm saying? He would know as a former player. So I gotta take his word with that. You know what I'm saying? We know they can play a little bit better than that. So I'm gonna give him his chance to continue to try to do that. And with that being said, keep the negativity out the comment section. I don't need all that petty shit in my shit. I will block your ass today. I'm that petty. Don't come in here talking about how trash Lions is, how trash Campbell is. I don't need to hear that. Say that. Go on Twitter with it. I don't care. It showed up your ass. Leave my team alone today. Let them figure their shit out. It's a young team, one of the youngest, if not the youngest team in the NFL. Let them be them young guys and let them learn. And shut your bony finger asses up. And with that being said, Nomus J has left the building. Goodbye.